New files for content here, Earnestly podcast, with, of course, the guys, Nash, James Big Jim Nies. It's been, if not close to a year, over a year since we've done this together, us three.
Yes, a true tribute to your lazy responsibility. Correct.
And of course, you're going to blame me for it, Kyle, because that's what you do.
The host.
A, the host. B, you should be the guy to actually look at your own feed
this is
see how long ago we did this show.
You're expecting to do research, Jim. That's on you at this point.
Jim, I don't appreciate Jim Scott. I don't appreciate your attitude right now.
I don't care.
I don't care.
Cowboy fan on Cowboy fan crime. Damn.
Is it really?
I'm a Charger fan, bitch.
Oh, my bad.
That's true.
Michigan fan on Michigan fan crime. There we go.
Okay, so it's been less than a year. July 3rd. No, that's wrong. Oh, bitch, no. Dude, no, I am wrong. Dude, it is no lie. It's almost 2 years. It's almost 2 years.
Oh,
it's
wow,
almost 2
crazy.
years.
Good
July 3rd, 2024 is the last time we did this.
Sorry for interrupting you a second ago. It was important that you get that in, EJ. My bad. But did you just hear me drop the Trubisky laugh right there for the Cowboys?
I did.
The Trubisky one?
Yeah, I just literally just did it. I mean,
yeah, he hit the laugh, which is Trubisky or whatever the hell his name is.
Did you hear
that
it?
one?
I heard it. He did, and he was flapping his mouth. So
yeah,
no, it's okay. He's the host. He should be able to talk. Whether he remembers to or not is another question.
That's true. That's true. We're gonna do a lot today in the show. We're gonna do a all-time rock band bracketology here. 32 in honor of the of course the March Madness now and the tournament starting.
Nice of you to mention that it's an all-time bracket, and this isn't trash talk. Honestly, this is me saying something funny. Like when you had texted us about it, you go rock band bracket, and then like I go to lay down to sleep, and I'm crap. Like, is he looking for should I be bringing up the Doors? Or and the Beatles and cats like that, or like should I be talking about Offspring and Metallica? Like, what are we talking about here?
Bands, actual bands.
I mentioned Offspring because that's my particular brand of vodka. It doesn't have to be yours.
Metallica. Look at Metallica T-shirt. Look at that.
I never cared for them.
Who?
I never hated them. I didn't ever seek them out until it was like a couple years ago. They did. I forget what Christmas song it is now, and just absolutely fucking killed it. And then like little by little, I've started to dig back into and find a new appreciation for
the Offspring. You talking about?
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan either.
I didn't know they did a Christmas song. Thank you, Jim. I'm going to look for that.
Yeah, I was going to say, let me do a journalism and I can figure that one out.
I got to tell you, you know the song that really
if I
made
put things in a Google machine, it'll actually give me answers.
That's true. The song that actually made me appreciate me more was Kyle's old intro from fucking like 15 years ago.
Oh,
bro.
yeah. By the way, Christmas Baby Please Come Home is the cover that they did.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
It's very, very good.
No.
All right. So let's do a check-in real quick. It's been a long time since we checked in on our health. How you guys doing health-wise?
I'm okay. Yeah. It's been a little bit of a struggle the last couple of months. So November, Thanksgiving weekend, I got hit by a nasty bout of sciatica. So I was just absolutely laid up for like basically a couple weeks for that. Started feeling better. Started like slowly getting back into like getting out and walking and all that. And then between Christmas and New Year's, I got fucking blasted by a bout of gout in my goddamn foot.
What?
That was worse than the sciatic, let me tell you. So
I've heard
that
stories. That shit ain't fun.
Dude, it was awful. Don't wish that on anybody. Hope it never happens again. And then once that took almost 3 weeks to like fully clear up. And then once that cleared, it became like the surface of Pluto in Pennsylvania for about a month. So the struggle to exercise is real, but calorie counting, all of that, I literally only gained about 2 or 3 pounds back between like Thanksgiving and February. So I'm pretty damn proud of myself on that one. And over the last couple of weeks, started to get out and start walking again, and just bought a push cart for when I play golf. So I will try to not ride in the golf cart as much this year.
And I will say, for all the talk about, like, you know, and it's important to move around and walk, and I do it all the time too. Also, nutrition, more than anything else, even more important. So if you're doing that well on that, you're well ahead of the curve about why you slice it. You know what I mean? So, Kyle, how you doing?
First of all, I don't think we're giving. I mean, Jim, I know that you shared your trials and tribulation with us, and I'm also very, very happy that you did that. But can we celebrate a little bit more the way you fit better in this middle frame during this podcast?
Right, I do. There's a little more space around it.
Hell yeah, dude. No, I'm gonna change your name to Ron Jeremy because you are in fact nailing it. So, I mean, I mean, you got called sexy no fewer than twice. It seemed appropriate.
You already know.
That's right.
But yeah.
Oh, by the way, also before coffee go, also on the show, soundboard. Hi, soundboard. Always. We always got to make sure the soundboard gets its props. You know.
It took you long enough.
No. Well, yeah. I'm sorry. I apologize.
I mean, do you compliment RoboCop's like face mask every time you see him? At this point, I just think it comes with him.
I mean, it is pretty dope, though. To be fair,
exactly.
I mean, that whole visor thing's pretty cool, man.
Yeah. To keep the RoboCop analogy going, like I forget he has that giant pistol in his hip, and then all of a sudden it starts firing, and like, wow, that is amazing. It's kind of like Jim with the soundboard. Like,
he's also a former WCW wrestler too, for the record. I don't know if you know this.
That is
one of the worst gimmicks in the history of fucking pro wrestling. I swear to God, Jim, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, sadly.
Kyle, health, go.
I was listen. No, I mean, from my perspective, I don't have too much report on that because simply the day job has really kept me from keeping any doctor's appointments lately. It's kind of a problem. Mm-hmm. But you know, I listen. You're gonna just give me the opportunity to plug that, you know, I'm a member now of 2 national podcast networks in both Believe, thanks to the Duval Dive. Shouts to my buddy. And then also my work with Locked On UCF. So there's that. Shouts to Mike Gittins for bringing me aboard there. If you haven't yet, check out the Johnny Dawkins defense episode, which now all you Dawkins haters out there in the UCF fan base look really stupid.
That's the thing?
Bro. It's probably one of the dumber phenomena. Phenomena. Yeah, you're right. In plural, it should be phenomena. Correct.
It should be.
Phenomena. But yeah, it's among the dumber phenomena amongst fan bases I've ever seen that I've covered that they want this guy fired. It just makes no damn sense. Yeah. Well done,
Crazy.
Red. Well placed. No, I mean, listen, I won't go on a separate rant here, so you'll go to Locked On UCF and check that episode out. It was so easy to defend Johnny. I actually made graphics, so you know, I'm just saying, when I can make pictures of how dumb you are. I mean, it's the thing I don't host.
How are you?
Yeah, there would be so many graphics for you at this rate. Anyways, no, but I'm doing pretty good, man.
That's good. You look good. You look like you lost some weight too, also. Maybe it's the hair. Maybe it's not having a hat also too on.
I got a haircut literally yesterday.
Where's your hat at? Where's your MAGA hat?
No, you're the one that wears the MAGA hat, bitch. What are we talking?
Buddy. I don't wear hats. I got a big ass hat. Don't be rude.
You wear the best MAGA hat. You're the best MAGA hat wearer. Nobody wears MAGA hats like you.
Yeah, that's true. I am still awaiting my. I have blood work done last week Tuesday. I'm waiting on update on that. Where am I on my blood work and A1C and all that stuff, and hopefully I'm in the 6s. Would be great. I'm hoping. I was at 7.1 last time.
I do need to go and get my blood work done. So I did have to go on a blood pressure medicine last.
Yeah, you said that last time with the podcast. I think when you came on here in November or December, you came on here. We'll talk about that. You said you mentioned you started doing that recently.
Yeah, I went on that.
Is it starting?
June. Yeah, I went on that in June. And I was supposed to have my blood work done like around 6 weeks after. I still have yet to get it done, so I need to do that. Just to make sure. I feel fine. I check my blood pressure pretty regularly. And then actually, this was actually probably the most impressive part of it. Usually, I get kind of like white coat syndrome, so my blood pressure is always higher when I have to go to the doctor or whatever.
That's a thing, by the way.
It absolutely is a thing.
It is. As a semi-pro athlete, Jim, where I was still in the peak of performance, my shit would spike. That's a thing.
Yeah, it is a thing. So like it normally does go up, and then plus this was I think 5 days in. I didn't know it was gout when it first hit. Like I thought I didn't know what I did because I've never had it before. I didn't know what I did. I knew I was in pain. I was in pain for 4 or 5 days. Finally made a doctor's appointment. So it's 5 days of freaking barely being able to walk and being in all this pain. I go to the doctor and my blood pressure was 139/81. And I was like, that's pretty fucking great. So, and it, because when I went on the medicine last summer, it was like 170/100. So like I have gotten it down significantly, in 6 months.
Here's where it's going to hit you, Jim. And I'm saying this to campaign you and your lovely wife to come back to Florida because, I happen to love you guys, EJ, whatever. Bring your wife again. She's cool, but no.
I'll see you over the summer, buddy.
No, but just joking aside, man, where you're gonna notice, I think the first time is either when you hit the golf course next, or when you do that walk again around Disney, and you're like, hey, I can make it here, and I don't feel like I've melted 5 ounces of sweat and fat like fucking behind me here. Like you're gonna feel that.
Yeah, we got Hershey Park season passes for this year because we are coming down right after Thanksgiving for like 2 weeks to Disney.
Wait. You're going to Florida this year?
Mm-hmm.
Boy, breaking news. You didn't fucking tell me this shit.
Yeah, I was getting there.
You getting there?
We're coming down. I think we're leaving Pennsylvania the Saturday after Thanksgiving, and we'll be down for like 2 weeks. I'll fill you guys in on like.
I would be back from the Thanksgiving cruise that has now become the tradition here in the house, Nash.
Yeah, you do every year now. That's right.
And then, we did it for the first time last year, and then everybody loved it, so we're gonna go back.
Yeah.
First world problems and shit. But
yeah, he came on the show during next week, fucking red faced like a motherfucker. I swear to God. You look very tan. Remember tan?
I just get browner.
You look very tan.
Like,
bronze.
Yeah, like tanner.
Like that's like browner. That's not red face.
Like your favorite president in the world,
No, I did not look orange. See, this is the part I'm going to say something so controversial. Don't cancel me, America. But like, I came in. The reason why EJ's self-conscious is because I looked more brown than he did. That's what. Okay.
I mean, it is what it is. My father's darker than I am. We constantly talk about that all the time. It's like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
So, by the way, that whole white coat syndrome thing is real. Because I experienced that same bullshit last week when I got my blood work and my pressure. To my pressure, it was like 191 over like 88, 89. I'm like, what the fuck? So but every time I do it on the digital, it always gives a bad number. When she does the old school with the hand, I got a better reading, 140/80.
Yeah, some of the digital ones can be a little bit funky too.
Yeah.
When
she does it old school with the hand, too many jokes.
I set you up. It's alley-oop, brother. Take advantage of it.
I dunked it again. Once again, a superior NBA play made by me over you. That makes perfect sense.
This is gonna be scary, because you're drinking tonight too. On top of that, it's gonna be scary.
Beer doesn't slow me down, bro. Come on, now.
Kyle is fucking.
I love that we're having health talk when I'm fucking throwing back beer. It's great.
Hey, listen.
There's. Well, I said touch on the thing with Jim. The other thing is it inappropriate, EJ, that when you start talking about your blood sugar and stuff, I start thinking about that Wilford Brimley fucking AI
diabetes.
Short diabetes.
Oh God. That word always triggers me. I don't know why. It just triggers me.
Diabetes.
The word diabetes just triggers me.
But is it diabetes that triggers you, or is it diabetes?
Diabetes.
Does that trigger you?
Yes.
Both.
All of it.
Diabetes.
Anything with
Kyle's
diabetes.
better at you.
Yeah.
Kyle's better than you at the NBA. Diabetes. See, now I've double triggered you.
Yeah.
So this really triggers EJ.
Diabetes.
Yeah.
Go Heat, bitch.
That's right.
Go Heat, bitch.
Anyway, I don't want to do a whole layout NFL free agency thing here. We did that, Kyle. We did that last week, albeit technical issues aside. I guess
Kyle did it. You filled in with the occasional. But
well, it is. Well, technically, it's a student game report, bro. It was so bad. I had to go to my cell phone. Did you hear that episode?
oh,
It
I
really
was
bad.
well aware.
It's so bad. It was so fucking. I was so embarrassed, bro.
So I gotta know, Jim, and maybe this will encourage other people to hear that car accident is maybe it was entertaining. Did you like my singular monologue stalling my ass off?
Oh, it was fantastic.
It's fantastic. After the fact,
You
I
should
heard
get a
like,
sports Emmy for that.
I
really should.
Piece,
It was
bitch.
good.
Let's go.
well, you did multiple monologues. I got cut like 3 or 4 times. Remember?
I'm aware, bro. I was there. What the fuck you mean, member? I still have the
Yes,
shoulder
you
pain.
remember. I
Remember
listened
a
to it.
member. Member. Did you say member? Members only.
That's what you said.
Anyway, so rather than go through a whole elaborate thing, I want you guys to give me your one big takeaway from free agency. Jim, go first.
I'll make it like personally. Obviously, we joked that I'm a Chargers fan, but I have actually been surprised in a pleasant way with the Dallas Cowboys.
Really? Explain
Yeah.
this.
Well, they went and got Rashawn Gary for next to nothing. A first round talent who, he hasn't lived up to the where he was drafted, but at it for a 4th round pick to fill us a need. The name is slipping my mind, but they signed another defensive lineman at the end of last week, a huge need for them. They signed got a safety from the Cardinals. They were in on the Max Crosby sweepstakes, the original one. And I can't believe these words are about to leave my mouth. To Jerry Jones's credit, they didn't overspend.
I was wondering if that was going to be the main thing that got you.
Yeah, they said they would give up a first and a second. The asking price got higher, and they said, "You know what? We're good, man."
How about you?
They didn't overspend. And then the the Ravens made a heel turn on the world, and it was wild.
Yeah.
And the way that whole thing unfolded, and then everybody, I know there was some speculations like, oh, maybe the Cowboys are back in. I'm like, first off, why would they be back in? They've already put 2 new defensive linemen on their roster. So now you would just be frivolous and really dumb to get back in that sweepstake. So yeah, look, Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones came into this offseason and they're like, this offseason is going to be different. And I was like, okay, dumbasses, show me. And so far they have actually showed me that at least in the short term, they have been a little bit different. They've been addressing needs. They haven't been overspending. And now as we head towards draft season, we'll see where that continues to go. But it's a pleasant surprise for a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, and then of course, we'll go 7-10 next year. So
Probably.
yeah, it's a life of a Cowboys fan. I know it.
I
Right?
mean, the thing is, your offensive pieces should basically be about the same. You re-signed Javonte Williams for a really good deal. You got the franchise tag on George Pickens, who was actually your number 1 receiver last year.
He really was last year.
The offense was great, man. If that Cowboys team had anything that resembled a defense, God only knows what they could have done. So
Sean Lee wasn't hurt.
Right. Like you got Eberflus out of the room, albeit way too late, but at least he's out of the room. You bring in a defensive coach from Philadelphia. Philly's had a pretty good D over the past few years, so maybe can bring some of that to Dallas, and who knows? Now, I guess the next thing is coming to terms with Brandon Aubrey. That's the big one,
right?
Which, by the way, a kicker in that conversation is fucking wild to me.
Yeah, I mean, I get.
Will he
wants
crack $10 million?
Cowboys want 5. I hope they'll find some middle ground because I don't think you should be spending $10 million on a
Yeah,
kicker.
but there's kickers in this Brandon Aubrey's leg. It's pretty insane.
He is tremendous. But like you also have, and pardon me, Kyle, for the guy's name in Jacksonville is slipping my mind. Like
Cam Little.
There it is. You have other great kickers out there, and I'm certainly not, because the Cowboys have gone through some bad ones from the Dan Bailey to Brandon Aubrey time.
That's correct.
But I also think you have to be smart about it. Like find the middle ground. I don't think anybody's spending $10 million on a kicker, man. Like,
yeah. But we're on the way. But Jim, his reality, we're on the way there.
Well, as salary caps increase, yes,
correct.
But percentage wise, you have to look at where the cap is now, and what the percentage you would be spending on a kicker. 10 million is too much. As the salary cap continues to balloon, because that's what it will do. Yes, of course. A kicker will eventually earn $10 million.
I think the average is worth $6 million
NFL
right now.
Quarterbacks weren't making $150 million, and now that seems like poverty.
I think the average kicker right now is making like $6 million a year right now, and I think the high end of that is like $7 to $8 million right now. So we're on the way there.
Yeah,
sooner realize, if not this year, then next year.
Yeah, but in a world where you're paying Dakota Prescott money that you need your pinky to your lip to describe, you can't pay the kicker $10 million.
That's a Cowboys issue. But I think another team might do it. But I think if he would hit the market, for example,
I'm not even done though. Like you're also paying a franchise tag number for Pickens too. True. You just got 2 new acquisitions on defensive line, right? You just brought it. I don't know if they held on to Q at defensive tackle, but if you are, that's going to take some.
I believe they did. Mm-hmm. He still has 1 year left on his Jets deal, but yeah, if assuming that he continues to perform at the level that he has, you're going to have to sign him next year. So
how old are you? Like 27, 28?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, okay.
He's still a very viable force. I mean, credit to your Cowboys, Jim, but I could tell you we on the Duval Dive were kind of hoping that he would end up there so there would be a better shot in the playoffs for the Jags. And,
of course,
Jerry outbid it. It's a whole thing. But listen, for me, for free agency, guys, I got to tell you, and listen, I'm glad your Cowboys might be viable in my opinion, a division that's just a power vacuum right now.
Right.
Now granted, the Eagles, I mean, not to offend, your evil twins.
You can buy the NFC East Power Vacuum shirt on the Huddle Up Public store, by the way.
No, offend them, Kyle. It's okay.
I'm saying I'm not meaning to. He could be offended if he wants. That is his choice, not mine.
That's feelings, buddy.
Is, with the constant coaching carousel that is beneath Sirianni, in the Eagles coaching tree. You live and die by your coordinators. We've seen that.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they're going to bring. I'm glad they have brought in somebody new. To be honest, anybody here who's a fan of the NFC East, as you two Cowboy fans are, you were worried for a minute there that McDaniel might end up the OC there for the Eagles. That would have been fucking mind-blowing. Your Chargers got him instead, though, Jim, making fun of somebody else who has multiple fanhoods on the show. But
you see how it feels now, Jim? See? It's not that bad, actually. See? It's a freedom.
But the punchline is something we're not making enough of. I don't know how good this actually make the Ravens, but you know what? Good on them for standing on business and be like, no, this dude's too busted. And I know there's all sorts of conspiracy theories about, they hedge their bets. What? You mean a front office did something smart? Okay. Hey, you screw over a team that's bad anyway as a franchise that happens to be owned by Thomas Edward, Patrick Bieber, Brady. I'm supposed to cry about it? No, thanks. I'm good. It does kind of suck to be our good friend, Mike Bernier, a.k.a. The Burn, because now he even lost his best defensive player, and he's going to be attacking Joe Burrow twice a year as well.
Well, I mean, if his team was so stupid to pay 2 receivers $3 million a year, maybe they could afford to keep Henderson around. But
that's not even the only thing. As right as that is, let me keep in mind, EJ, this isn't your normal garbage take. It's completely accurate, and everybody in the world knows it.
But
I Joey Burr, The meme is real. The other thing I want to shout out is, I make jokes about all the bad takes you make, EJ, because there are a lot of them. Take your victory lap for Kyler Murray to Minnesota. That's going to be a very interesting concept to me, because even though he's not the same style quarterback as JJ McCarthy, he's certainly an improvement. No offense, Jim, but they drafted a guy who in this offense is going to get asked to do things a lot more often and a lot more things, thank you, Jim, than a lot more things than he was ever with Harbaugh as a national champion. And it's starting to catch up. And will he leave out the part where apparently he's as frail as glass? So,
yeah, that's the part that's trouble. Unfortunately, they also bring in a guy who is also quite glass-like. So I think both quarterbacks will see action. The most impressive part about the Minnesota quarterback room is you have two starting quarterbacks and they're under 10 foot tall together.
Oh my god!
My favorite.
I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that. Oh my god!
They are little. Actually, that's the funny thing. JJ McCarthy is actually like 6'1", but he looks very small.
Doesn't he? He does very small.
He's a towering giant.
Tyler Murray is 4'7", so that's really the funny part.
My favorite meme of that is the one where like it's him and Peter Dinklage in a pose, and Peter Dinklage is like clearly an NBA player standing next to him. It's absolutely silly.
But here's the sick part about that too, though. They with all their issues of quarterback last year, they went 9-8. In that division, that was tough last year.
You see,
pretty impressive.
You say that as a positive. Think about this. Look at it from this perspective. What about when, Jameis Winston was a thing in Tampa and they were literally a quarterback away? That's not a positive. That's damn malpractice when you let a Super Bowl winning quarterback leave the goddamn building like that. So no, EJ, it is not impressive. It is disappointing as to go from 15 wins to 9, and you let the quarterback that could have got you there out the damn door when other teams in that division are actually on the down low. And listen, we made the joke. I shouldn't say joke. We made the very astute observation last year that the NFC East was a power vacuum. This year, I think that vacuum is starting to form in the North.
Yeah.
And now the Holy Spirit may get involved since the Pope's from Chicago. I'm just saying.
The thing is, though, could you justify paying Sam Darnold $40 million a year?
That's not what would have happened. I don't think.
Okay.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, look, obviously, I have a couple of Viking fan friends that are still pretty hot about the situation. I go, look, I understand, especially in the Seattle winning the Super Bowl hindsight, it doesn't look great. Also, the Seattle defense infinitely greater than symbol the Vikings defense right now.
Mm-hmm.
And as a team, they're just better. But ultimately, I point to, I said, do you remember the last two games that Sam Darnold played in Minnesota? Week 18 against Detroit, and then the playoff game against the Rams.
Where's the not great bulb?
That was the worst. Like, if you're thinking of it from like a lawyer standpoint, and you're in a trial and you have your closing statement, like it may have been the worst closing statement ever. It may as well have been, yes, he killed that guy.
You're right.
Oh shit, I'm the defense. Goddamn, what did I do? Like, it was horrible. So like, yes, it doesn't look great in hindsight. Sam Darnold better than JJ McCarthy, but JJ McCarthy was a lot cheaper, and you drafted him in the first round, and Sam Darnold didn't bring it home when he needed to the most.
And to mention too, also that narrative Darnold carried all the way to the playoffs last year. We were all waiting for that other shoe to drop.
Oh yeah,
even into the Super Bowl,
even in the Huddle Up Super Bowl preview, hit the bell.
Yeah.
We were making
Superb Owl, right? Superb Owl.
Yeah, the Superb Owl. Like it was like,
it's great.
Is bad Sam Darnold going to show up in this game? Like, we were still asking the question.
Well, and listen, by the way, much to my chagrin, apologies for not making Huddle Up as often as I like. I've been busy, making it to national podcasts.
I was going to say, you do your thing.
I hope I have a good excuse, but it ain't like Sam Darnold didn't show up in that Super Bowl. It's just it's not like Sam Darnold didn't show up in that Super Bowl. Let me try that again. As it would work out, the other quarterback did as well.
Right, exactly.
Right. Are we done with the worshiping of the Patriots quarterback? Are we done with that?
I don't think I did that actually. At
I
least
mean,
on this
here's the
panel.
thing. I still think that there are people that are, and they're doing it incorrectly. I still think you're being overly harsh on him.
I
Here's
agree
the
with
thing:
that
the
part.
Patriots should have never gotten to that game.
Yes.
Like the injury to Bo Nix is what put the Patriots in that game. Yes, they had
just that, but yes,
right. But I mean, here's the thing. I said this the whole way through the postseason is like I'll give the Patriots defense credit for what they did. Like I'm not just gonna say it was just the Texans melting down. I'll give the Patriots defense credit. They had a good defense all year. Granted, they were playing lesser than opponents. I'll give it that. They also don't get to pick their schedule. So like they were only playing the games.
Spoken like a true Notre Dame fan, Jim. We've had
That's
that.
true. That's true, Jim. You walking at that one, brother.
And listen, I'm not saying.
The funny thing is Notre Dame does pick 7 of their games.
Yeah,
New England picks exactly 0 of theirs.
Well, right. I'm only saying you've used that literal same statement before. But go ahead, buddy. I'm sorry.
But you know what I mean. So, but like I'll give them the credit for what they did against Houston, and I'll give them the credit for what their defense did in the crazy part is I don't even remember who they played in the second round.
That would be the Chargers that had a quarterback with a surgically repaired hand and the worst offensive line in the league that year.
See, I've been working with my therapist. I put it out of my memory. Thank you for that. But ultimately, the AFC was the Broncos to win. And then on the freakiest of dumb freaky plays, Bo Nix ends up hurt, and then it all falls apart. So like what ended up happening, like the Patriots outkicked their coverage this year because the Bills ended up being the Bills and the rest of the East wasn't good. And the AFC through multiple of reasons, injuries and mismanagement, whatever, the AFC ended up not being as hard of a road as it's been over recent years. And the Patriots benefited.
That's very true.
Well, the entire conference, for clarity, hasn't been that hard a road, right?
Big letdown this year.
Let's review. Patrick LaVon Mahomes II, Joey Burr, Lamar Demetrius Jackson, all quarterbacks that were hurt at some point throughout the year in the AFC. Now, granted, the Chiefs were struggling so hard doing things, including losing to the Jacksonville Jaguars on Monday Night Football, one of the best episodes performance-wise for the Duval Dive, in case anybody was wondering. But those things all happened too. The Chiefs weren't a factor essentially in the division. And if Josh Allen plays the same style of football he does against the Jags, against the Broncos as well, he's the guy that the Patriots would play. And if the snow came in, do you think the Bills would have given a flying fuck? I don't. So, that's the thing. People accuse me of being too harsh on the Patriots, and it likens it to the days of Thomas Edward, Patrick Bieber, Brady. I never had an issue with Brady, but Patriot fans acting like there weren't plenty of breaks going their way are insane and delusional. Okay.
Well, I mean, that is Boston sports fans in a nutshell.
Without question. Yeah.
But the difference is the Celtics now are still dominant as hell, and you should gloat. And these idiots that said Jason Tatum was going to keep them from doing well were all stupid at the time, and I'm on record on other versions of the Student of the Game report to say thus the same. This is why I'm a better NBA analyst.
You're not better, but you are definitely knowing what you're talking about.
But listen, my joking aside, I made that claim. Like, this isn't your typical Boston declaration with the Celtics. Now, I don't follow stickball, but I know that the Red Sox have their whole thing going. I get it. I don't know how you feel about the Bruins in hockey, Jim, but I haven't heard much from them lately. I know that. I've heard
I'm not a Bruins fan by any stretch of the imagination. I actually quite despise quite a few of them. But
likewise.
They are on the playoff bubble. They will probably end up getting in because the teams that are desperately trying, my Washington Capitals included, seem to be failing at the most important moments.
Go Bears!
Hey, look, my team's out.
They are also failing at the most important moment.
Oh no, really? We're there now?
Well, here's the thing. They had a very veteran heavy roster in the 2023, and as you can see it behind me here, the 2024 season's back-to-back Calder Cup champions. This is a transitional year. They a lot of their veterans have moved on to Europe and other places. So they have, and their head coach, who was, I think, the third winningest coach in Bears history, and he was only there for 3 years. has moved on. He's an assistant with the Pittsburgh Penguins now, which makes me hate them even more.
He
But
earned it, buddy. No offense, but he earned
but
it.
they so yeah, they have a new coach, a very young and somewhat inexperienced team. So they may make the Calder Cup playoffs this year, but they will probably not make it out of the first round.
By the way, as an aside, knowing for a fact that EJ Christian did not have minor league hockey on his going into this.
No, when Jim's on the show, I have to assume the Bears.
You always got to be ready. That's true. But
Yes.
I would like the producer to drop in a little Maui from the soundboard, please.
Oh, I got that coming. I just got to find it. That's what EJ said.
Can I say except you're welcome?
That was for you, Jim. Go ahead.
Well, my takeaway is very simple. The Chiefs, my other team, my third team,
15, 12 team, whatever.
No,
like,
they're 1C, Jim.
They are
1C. Yeah, that's right. So we came into the season saying, okay, so because of Mahomes' injury and the severity of the injury, it's most likely that this is going to be a rebuilding year as opposed to retooling now.
Mm-hmm.
But the way they operated in this free agency looks like that maybe it is more of a retooling year because
I was gonna say,
yes,
if
they traded
rebuilding, that's on you.
right. They traded McDuffie for those picks, which is cool. Typically, when a team rebuilds, what they do, they take their best asset possible or one of the best assets possible and get back assets. But then you sign the Super Bowl MVP. Okay, I'm like, okay, so now are we trying to compete now? So my thing, I think the Mahomes may be coming back sooner than we thought. In other words,
I think
Well,
you're overthinking.
I also think
Go ahead, Jim.
I also think there's still question marks about when he's going to return because of the trade that they made today.
yeah, for Justin Fields, right?
There's definite Patrick Mahomes insurance. Now, we all laugh. We can all make all of our jokes about Justin Fields as much as we want. But this is probably the most competent room he has ever been in by a while. So the talent is there, and if Mahomes and I'm gonna lean to when he's not ready to start week one, you have a quarterback that can operate an offense in a similar fashion. Certainly, nobody is confusing Justin Fields.
Jim, if you lean on history with that injury, that is a 12-month to 15-month injury. That's a season ender next year. However, the science have changed now to where Jason Tatum, he's now back less than a year and looks fantastic.
Yeah.
So again, things would change. So look, I still think there's a possibility he'll probably miss at least a month.
He will miss time. There's no. I will say
right.
it. I will say it fairly confident. There's no way he's starting one.
Right.
And if I end up being wrong, I will be wrong when we preview the NFL season on Huddle Up Podcast.
But Justin Fields for 4 weeks, is that doable under Andy Reid? I'll trust Andy Reid for that one. So go ahead.
So for clarity, somebody said here they referenced history, and for somebody who here on this panel, EJ, is a Patriots fan, your memory of history is pretty fucking awful.
1D.
So I'm going to go ahead and deflate your ego. See what I did here?
Hey, there
you
he is.
fucking asshole. Oh, you bastard.
Well, the reason why I make that is if you remember your guy, your love, your what is it? Your mistress? No, your side piece. There it is. Your side piece. Thomas Edward Patrick Bieber Brady was suspended for 4 games, and if you remember correctly, the Patriots, if I were at least 2-2, if not 3-1 in that stretch.
2-2.
Going down Jacoby Brissett, they were 2-2. Going down to Jacoby Brissett, which again, mentioning your side piece and saying going down right after that might not have been the greatest plan, but we'll move on. So with all that in mind, you have Justin Fields in place. You still somehow convinced a Hall of Fame tight end to come back and Travis Michael Kelce. And then on top of that, you get the Super Bowl MVP, who apparently all he does is fucking Super Saiyan train football during any offseason when he can, and Kenneth Walker. Guy, you're asking what he's supposed to do. And we're not even talking about what they might draft with these new picks, because you guys might remember the last time they shipped a non-essential asset in then running back, sometime slot receiver Tyreek Hill, and hauled a shit ton to hustle the Miami Dolphins in a fashion we ain't seen lately, except for maybe Carolina and the Bears with that whole situation. Although in fairness, Bryce Young's looking pretty good suddenly.
Look at that pose, by the way. Look at that pose by Big Jim right there.
I know he's looking deaf. The punchline is he's all this retooling that's going on. You're a fool at this point to count the Chiefs out. They're doing everything they did in that Tyreek Hill era and more. Patrick LeVon Mahomes II listen, you watched Quarterback on Netflix just like I did.
I sure did.
You've seen how much of a beast that dude could be in his rehab. I can't rule any of it out. Okay. And you mentioned medical technology. I think that's important as well.
Mm-hmm.
But to insinuate that you can think they're rebuilding all you want to, EJ. I know for a damn fact, ain't nobody in that building had that same attitude.
No, so if I ask you right now, not knowing anything, information, we have heard nothing about the sort, about his return.
Yeah, we're missing a shit ton.
Do you feel comfortable making a prediction on when he'll come back, Mahomes? A prediction?
Oh, hell no. Not when he'll come back. I'm telling you, even if he misses 6 weeks, I think they have enough in the tank. Granted, we don't know schedules yet exactly, but I think they have enough in the tank to go 3-3. Can you rule that out? Because I sure can't.
Andy Reid's your coach. Of course not. But again, they operated like a team that was not rebuilding. They were trying to win now. And that to me is encouraging. And that tells me that the Mahomes thing maybe a lot shorter than we think. I mean, yes, is it on my end overcomplicated situation? Maybe a little bit, but at the same time, that matters because ultimately this only works with Mahomes.
One more piece of history too, by the way. One thing we're leaving out is Patrick LeVon Mahomes II has played hurt a lot in postseason.
Oh yeah, no question.
Chad Henne beating his old team in the Jacksonville Jaguars is what contributed to him making it to the Super Bowl in Phoenix, which I was at to watch in person.
That's right, you were.
To beat the Eagles happened because of Chad Henne. If Chad Henne doesn't take the team 98 yards for a score on that drive, the Jacksonville Jaguars advance to the AFC Championship.
That game was close to making credit for. The game was in the bag.
So if we can do that with Chad Henne, I think Justin Fields is closer in style to Patrick LeVon Mahomes II than Chad Henne.
Chad Honey.
That day, apparently.
Yeah. So Big Jim lost power.
I guess. God.
So I believe back storms up in PA right now. So
yeah.
So okay, let's go ahead and move to the next topic. Meantime, and maybe he'll get back. Hopefully, power back, but in time. So you had mentioned want to talk about the possible merger between Netflix and Paramount, or possible buyout of Paramount to Netflix.
Which apparently I had wrong.
But you weren't. But to be fair to you though, too, also, there's been so much going on in the last 4 or 5 months involving these three companies. Which when I say three, I mean Warner Brothers as well too. Also, that it's easy to get lost in the shuffle. Also about who's doing what and what, because there's been so much shuffling the deck when it comes to streaming and how these companies operate and whatnot, that I've lost count now. Who's doing what now at this point? So right now, there's a negotiation going between Paramount and Netflix, or possibly Paramount buying out Netflix. Paramount has already bought Warner Brothers as of like last month, I believe. So this whole streaming thing in general is so crazy. Like, I get when people say like, "Oh, we want to way back to cable." I struggle to dive into those waters and say yes, but the more I think about it and they see where things are going, and it's like, yeah, we're kind of sort of see that argument in that one. Like things are kind of course correcting.
We were always moving toward contraction anyway, right? And this is kind of the pendulum with these things, right? Is for a while the big movement, you mentioned it, was the whole way the reason you went to streaming services is because the cable companies are just completely unscrupulously greedy and ass. You know, they don't even provide good internet, and then when you do get the choppy signal through, you got to pay $1 million. Like, joking aside, like my mom admitted to me she's paying $300 fucking for her cable bill. What are we doing? Like, so those when people started to cut the cord, other entities took the opportunity to see that streaming was where they were at, and they're trying to plant their flag, and as other streaming services start to fall off and get scooped up, the way that companies show increase on their books when they're otherwise struggling. Your NHL did this. Oh wait, Jim's not on. Well, you're a hockey fan, allegedly. Your NHL did this in a fashion in that they would keep using expansion teams to show growth when they were actually struggling because the new expansion team would bring in new revenue. What companies are doing now, and ESPN is kind of notorious for it. Think of, them buying Fox and ESPN like that is they'll perform a buyout, move liquidity around, and then the books look a certain way when they bring in new assets so they can show growth to the shareholders. And then they start hemorrhaging cash when things start to, when the dust starts to settle. So I get concerned that this is what Paramount is doing with Warner Brothers. And I'll be honest, where the hell is the antitrust for all this kind of crap? So
then there's also the political angle of this too also. But we have to dive into it heavily, but there's a lot of political mumbo jumbo involving the administration.
Listen, don't pretend like political ain't where you live. Go ahead. No, I mean, like, that's your wheelhouse. What do you mean we don't want to get too you want to know.
I'm so burned out that fucking political shit, honestly.
Really?
I kind of am, bro. Like I talk, I'll talk about with Mark here and there on the show, and whatnot.
Well, I mean, if you breathe oxygen with Mark within 50 feet of your phone,
I'll discuss the things I want to talk about. But for the most part, it's like I'm just like,
shouts to our favorite NBA fan / activist, by the way.
Yeah, but I'm like, okay, dude, we get it. I understand, but like, what could we do, really? You know what I'm saying? What could we do?
Well, okay, I didn't mean to completely deflate the.
No, but anyway,
what was the political angle specifically that you're talking about?
No, is that like the influence of Trump and these companies and kind of muscling their way to forcing certain things and mergers and.
Oh, so you're talking about like the Steve Oliver thing and the not Steve Oliver.
I don't think about.
I mixed John.
Well, that's part of it. That's part of it.
Yeah.
That's a result of positioning from the top, trickling down to the bottom.
I mean, it's a symptom. Yeah.
So it's just annoying as shit, though, bro. But $300 a month, Jesus. That better be with internet, right? That's with internet.
It is, but like, yeah, no. I mean, whatever. At this point, she's good enough with her money. She can spend it on stupid shit like that if she wants to. That's fine.
Right. I get it, man.
Just help me with my kids when it's time for them to go to college.
And yet, I'll tell you this much. I'll tell you this much. Streaming is still better than cable for me for one reason: choice. You get quality content. You get a lot of content.
That's rapidly decaying, though. You'll admit.
It depends. Netflix is still killing it. There's a lot of. There's so much shit on Netflix right now that I can't catch up.
They deal in quantity, but like let's say I love a particular animated show, Invincible, but if I have Prime, I can't watch it.
True, I get that. And if you want to stop something,
fuck trying to watch football right now. By the way, God damn,
isn't cable companies also doing contracts now? Like you're locked into a 2-year contract, 1-year contract.
Yeah, this is a thing they do. Oh, you mean with the customer? I don't know.
That's my point. With Netflix, if I decide in March, you know what? In May, you know what? I need a break for Netflix. So I'm gonna drop my $20 a month for a couple weeks, or a couple months, whatever. You can do that, and cable really can't do that. And again, you're paying for carriage fees again for stations that you probably don't even watch anyway. That's built into your bill. So
the thing they still do, which by the way, pro tip by way of Mark Moses of the Mark Moses Show, StreamYard does this too allegedly. But
yeah, if
you threaten to leave, like the cable company will give you those rates to like keep you on board.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where I'll still take streaming over cable for the time being. I think the only thing cable provides more than anything else that's still missing that people are still attached to cable is live television, live sports. Things that are live that are appointment television
now too, right?
But even that's starting to trickle down now. Yep.
I need an arm and a leg to find a place to watch the fucking Magic on TV if they're on the road, which makes it really hard to keep.
Did I tell you my dilemma this year? Because you relate to this too. Also, the Magic is actually also on the same station as the Heat, FanDuel Sports.
Yeah,
I made a decision this year not to pay for it because I wanted to see if I can do away without having.
No, Heat did.
Yeah, but I still watch the games. Just I watch the games in my own. Yeah, that's right.
Watching those games.
Exactly. You get me. So I'm saving money there. I prefer to have the streaming because obviously watch on my TV and whatnot. But at the same time, it's like, okay, I'm having that same problem with the WWE too, also, because none of the WWE what they're doing, and I wish Jim was here to talk about this with me because he knows exactly what I'm talking about. They're taking all their content now and the same way NFL's doing it too. You know what? Putting certain games on Netflix, certain games on this station. WWE now is doing that with Raw. Raw is on Netflix. SmackDown's on another station. You know what I'm saying?
First of all, you guys as diehards with wrestling, like, compared to following the WWE, I am John Cena. Okay, you can't see me. I don't do
right,
it. Okay?
Right.
Anyway,
but even now, but all the pay-per-views now are on ESPN now.
Which again,
unlimited. But the problem is not on ESPN. It's on ESPN Unlimited, which is
let me tell you why it's different with the WWE as a one-time stockholder of your company there, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same. My wife is.
Okay.
The issue, the difference with WWE doing it is compared to like the NFL, the NBA, the ESPN, Disney, those guys. Those are huge companies. Not to say that WWE is small, but in comparison they still need that lift distribution-wise that they get. So this isn't just this isn't just them trying to screw the customer per se by squeezing every last bit of blood, aka money, out of that stone. What it is with them is that's the only other real growth opportunity they have at this point. Like when they did the WWE network, fuck all, what was it? Like a decade ago now, I guess.
Yeah, 12 years.
Yeah, that was a big ass move for them to grow,
and I missed it.
And believe in their product, right? But now the only way at this point where they can truly grow as they become a worldwide offering. Listen, say what you will about Vince McMahon, the businessman in him has to know that infrastructure is something he can't afford to build quickly. And the only way to do it is be distributed through entities that have that.
Yeah.
It's different there in that way.
Yeah. And you're getting pushback now, especially too from fans, because like again, for example, for me, so all the PLEs, there's the pay-per-views, of course, the one pay-per-views, it's on ESPN Unlimited, not ESPN Unlimited, which you have to pay $30 a month to get access to that. The problem is for me, I don't need ESPN. So essentially, for me personally, if I'm paying to watch PLE, I'm basically paying $30 a month just to watch pay-per-views, and I refuse to do that. So it's just ridiculous. So at this point, it's like, now I may bite the bullet this next month for WrestleMania, just because WrestleMania. But after I'm done with that, I'm gonna cancel it again. Again, the reason why I still like streaming more than cable for that reason.
It's just because you could step out when you see it. Yeah. I don't know.
All right, so like Big Jim is gonna pass on the night because he does his house is dark and quiet. His wife's trying to sleep. We can reschedule. Yeah, we can do that.
His
we can
trying to sleep. Okay, go do what you need to do.
No power. We can just bracket together. Want to do the bracket with me now?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, let's do the bracket. Okay, so we have 32 bands.
Now for clarity, all-time bands. Which I would really like Jim's input for this, but maybe you could do.
I wish it was here. Not only that, because if we're tied, we need a tiebreaker.
I doubt we'll be tied.
If I say the Beatles or Kiss, and I say Kiss, you say the Beatles, we got a problem. We got an impact.
First of all, you're going to do that just to troll Jim, you son of a bitch. So no.
Well, the way I'm picking a Kiss number one anyway. But yeah, fuck. I'm trying to decide what I should do this or not with the.
No, go ahead. And I think a good way to do it is for those where we need another. Well, let's see what we come up with. Let's get it.
Let me text. Should I text them right now to each one?
That's an idea. Yeah, we could get his off-screen response.
Okay, let me pause this real quick. Hold on. All right, so I think what we'll do here, we'll probably let's put an end to this episode for the time being because Jim cannot come back.
I haven't poured another beer, man. Damn, this weather is terrible.
We want Jim to be a part of this draft. I could text him and say, give me your answer, but it's so stupid. I'd rather get his inside it. But actually, it's a good thing, too, honestly, because I think, honestly,
it's a good thing, because Jim will be back with the soundboard.
Number one. And number two, I think, honestly, and I was thinking about this earlier today, too, because I was trying to jam in topics for the show, but here's the reality situation, Kyle. This bracketology is an episode in itself.
I remember somebody
really
texting
is.
about this who was dashingly handsome and somewhat overweight. Oh, it was me.
Yeah. So what we'll do the bracket. I mean, I like if you do it tomorrow, it'd be great. But no, if you do it next week's fine. I'll just lock this here for now, and then we'll just do the bracket next week as a full episode.
Do you lock in the Magic as a playoff team?
Oh God, yeah. Both of them are going to get in. He and Magic are going to be in top 6, I think. Well, Toronto's still in their heels, but I still got
and I only asked because they lost their first game in 7 tonight to the Atlanta Hawks. You know,
the Hawks are on fire right now. They won 10 in a row.
Yeah, it happens, and you know
they have a lot of talent on that roster, man. So look out.
Good on them for moving Trae Young and still finding a way. That's some good shit.
Jalen Johnson's a baller. Let's say.
Hey, listen. I always like Coach Q. He's great.
He's fantastic. I love Quinn Snyder.
Coach Q is like, he has hints of Spoelstra, but he's far less robotic.
Right.
And I mean, no disrespect to Spoelstra, man. He's a Hall of Famer. I don't care what anybody says. But I have more fun talking to Coach Q.
Of course. Yeah. So, Spo is very cliched. I get it. So but
that's a whole other pod. If you want to talk to me about my opinion of NBA coaches and stuff, we could do that on another show. That's fine.
Okay. Anyway, we'll shut down here. I'll tell you what. This gives us a reason to come back and do this again very soon. There you go. We took almost 2 years off doing the fucking proper content. So this will give us an opportunity to do this very soon. So plug away, buddy.
Much love to you. And listen, looking forward to doing the thing with you and the head of Huddle Up Inc., Big Jim Nies. How's that for friendship, Bam? Mm-hmm. Plugging you when you ain't even here, bitches. Woo! Of course, I'm Kyle Nash. The game. You find me on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky at BSOTG. Check out my work covering, of course, on Facebook as well as the student of the game. Check out my work covering the Jacksonville Jaguars on the Duval Dive, part of the Believe Podcast Network, with my personal champion, Travis D. Holmes, live streaming Back in Play here on Wednesday night. Make sure you check that out. Of course, I did my one-off show over the weekend about wondering why the hell Duval's questioning James Gladstone, a.k.a. Jimmy Stones, their GM at this point. We talked some about free agency. Obviously, I didn't talk much about the Jags, so you guys could check it out on the Duval Dive if you're curious. Plus, check out my work covering UCF on Locked On UCF with my guy Mike Giddens, and of course, reunited with my good friend Stat Boy Drew Glucove. Make sure you check that out on all the appropriate podcast and YouTube places as well. Subscribe both to the Duval Dive and Locked On UCF there as well. I'll be writing again for UCF Night Zone soon enough once we get all that worked out. So make sure you check out that for my coverage of UCF as well. They're in the tournament, EJ. That's a damn thing. Of course, my work covering the Orlando Magic, where I once again, each and every night, shine as a better NBA analyst than EJ Christian. Never hope.
Bullshit again. It was just bullshit. And I don't have Jim. I don't have Jim to fucking buffer with me right now.
You know what the thing is, buddy? All the times you work to purposely triggering me, I'm coming for you, bitch. Okay?
And it only took you 15 fucking years to get to this point. Congratulations, my friend.
Yeah, I can now speak you in 3 languages now. Isn't it awesome? Anyways, make sure you check out my Orlando Magic coverage there as well. And on the horizon, the UFL, EJ Christian. I had my first availability with head coach Anthony Beck of the Orlando Storm. So, yeah, the UFL came back to Orlando. I had said some choice things about Danny Garcia taking the Guardians out, and after she was claiming she's an Orlandonian and things like that. Well, apparently she's still a little bit fond of the city. The Storm are here in Orlando to bring spring football back. So make sure you check out any and all that coverage as it goes. Once I have that more finalized, what that's going to look like, I'll have that there. But yeah, all the things there. And of course, most importantly, an honor, joy, and privilege, EJ Christian, to do the thing with you again. Until next time, class dismissed. Wow.
Oh, by the way, I'm adding more production. But by the way, before we go, I'm still recording. Follow Big Jim at Big Jim Sports on X, although he's barely there anymore as is. On Blue Sky, all that. Huddle Up Podcast, Huddle Up Link, 3CT, Thursday. Yeah. He says 3CT all the time, brother. By the way, you have to check out you obviously don't watch wrestling. However, their Tuesday episodes, the Tuesday offerings are so worth listening to because they don't talk wrestling at all.
a ton of them shorts. I have found myself laughing hilarious.
No, but the Tuesday episodes though, for real, they don't talk any wrestling. They talk. They just talk. And
I'm waiting for my invite, bitches. I'm waiting for my invite.
It is fantastic. You have to listen to it. It's great. So I encourage you guys to check out the 3CT podcast, of course, as well too. And of course, we'll find us here, Earnestly podcast, of course. So we'll come back here. We'll do the rest of this episode probably next week or whenever we decide to do it and do the bracket. Hopefully next couple of weeks, so we can do it around the March Madness, aura, if we call that. So.
And also our Scrubs podcast, which will appear in 4 years from now when the reboot of the Scrubs show comes off the air and is finally canceled. We'll be able to recap both series and how that goes in 4 years from now. So make sure you look out for that. Our top Scrubs characters from both editions. I'm talking cash shit.
4 years, and this is 4 years after from the 5 years after removed. So we'd be 9 years after the fact that we should be doing this shit. God, I'm a fucking horrible host.
But
goodbye.
Listen, seriously,
I love you.
I'm looking forward to speaking with you and the lovely Mrs. Christian on the top 5 characters from the original Scrubs.
I'm working on that tonight. Actually, I'm gonna work on the front of the show because 25th anniversary. I may tweak to what I had originally anyway too. So, but
and honestly, if you want me to start watching it and have us have do a weekly pod for it too, I'm down for that. We just got to schedule it.
Yeah,
and I just got to catch up.
You got to figure it out. We'll figure it out, but yeah, good job by you, man. We'll next time we'll continue this podcast soon. So, all right, that's good. Later.